When I was younger, I think it was around the age of 13, some friends and I heard ghost stories about an old abandoned farmhouse. Specifically, there was a story about a room in the house where a child was constantly abused and tortured by his father. The child ended up dying in the closet of his bedroom after being locked in and left to die. Well, being so naive at the time, I made a bet with my friends that I could go into that closet alone for 10 minutes and in return would receive $50 for my actions. 4 of my friends walked up the dirt road to the farmhouse one sunny afternoon. And with each step closer to the house, my friends would fill me with information about what happened, obviously hoping I would back out of our bet. They filled me in on details that were made public after evidence was collected by the police. They were horrible stories about this boy's body having razor blade scars all over his back and his arms. I tried not to think about it while I stared at my dirt-covered feet walking closer and closer to the house. When I reached the front door and turned the handle to walk in, one of my friends insisted on coming inside to watch me enter the closet, while the others didn't even dare to set foot inside. The house smelled with its stale air and unsettling stillness. We walked slowly upstairs and my friends started to tell me how they also found cigarette burns all over the boy's body. I turned and said that I would split the money with him if we pretended that I went through with the bet. And his response? Yeah, you're a chicken. I know you wouldn't do it. Come to think of it, it's funny how the word chicken can make you do the most foolish things as a kid. We continued to walk up the stairs, and then came a long hallway. The creaking was loud, because everything else was so quiet, which made me more nervous. When we got to the doorway, my friend looked at me and said, "Well, this is it." I peeked my head in before entering the small room, and was relieved to see it so well lit from the sunlight. I walked in with my friend behind me. The walk-in closet's heavy wooden door was closed tight, and I walked slowly towards it. Looking back at my friend, I told him to start looking at his watch. "Not until you go in with the door shut," he replied. I felt my stomach getting tight in knots as I slowly approached the door and turned the handle. My friend stepped towards the hallway as I opened the door quickly, expecting something to come barging out, but nothing did. I looked into the closet, and the darkness inside sucked away the sunlight in the room. I took one step inside, then another one, and slowly closed the door until I heard it close all the way with what seemed like a thunderous bang in the still of the house. It was pitch black inside. I could hear my heart racing. I didn't step any further into the closet. I decided to close my eyes even though I couldn't see anything in front of me to begin with. But I felt it gave me some kind of extra protection from anything that could be in here. After standing for what seemed like eternity inside this dark, foreboding place, I started to feel like something was watching me at the back of the closet. to try convincing myself it was only in my imagination. Then I heard something dragging towards me. And that was enough to convince me to leave. I reached out in the dark looking for the door handle and fidgeted around. In my panic, I felt a sharp pain cutting down the back of my calf. I screamed, and at that point started banging onto the door while fumbling for the handle, which I found, lunging into the room and onto the floor. My friend was by the doorway and pointed out, "Holy shit, man! You're bleeding!" And didn't look and got up running out of the room and out of the house with my friend leading the way. When I got outside, I could feel the blood running down my leg like water in the shower. All of us just ran as fast as we could, back to our neighborhood to feel safe again. When I got home, my mother took me to the doctor, where I had to have stitches in my leg because my cut was so deep. My parents were convinced I scratched my leg on a rusty nail sticking out of the wall. But I knew better. To this day, a shiver runs down my back when I look down. See the faint scar on the back of my leg. That happened in the dead boy's closet.